pertinent stuff to talk about. It's Spinach Day.
It's Spinach Day?
It's National Spinach Day.
I think we'll probably have spinach for dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
How you make your spinach?
Sauteed.
Okay.
Well, olive oil, spices.
Ooh.
Saute it up in a pan, and then Chris puts it on a plate, and I eat it. How do you eat your spinach?
By the fistful. I just grab I love it raw. Grab a fistful of the rawness, shove it in, just raw dog that spinach.
Not my favorite. Like, I don't like it in salads as much. That's not a leaf that I would choose in my salads.
What leaves do you like in your
Love
salad?
arugula.
Really?
Arugula is my favorite salad leaf.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Surprising.
I can mess with arugula.
Yeah. SOB down here used to have a killer arugula Caesar salad that you could add blackened salmon to. They got rid of it. It makes me so upset.
I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday about good like salads from chain spots. Longhorn has, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's got like nuts and strawberries, and it's got some big old leafy green lettuce in there.
Okay.
Like, it's really, really good. Super good. You can put a little chicken on there if you want to. Hold on, let me try and find this, because I took a picture of it to send to her. Yes, the grilled chicken and strawberry salad. Oh, and they throw some what's the little oranges called?
Mandarin.
Throw some of that in there. Oh, it's so good. What was the song?
The song was Blackbird, but specifically not the Beatles, not Beyonce. It is the Sarah McLachlan cover from the I Am Sam movie soundtrack, starring Sean Penn and Dakota Fanning.
All right,
a great film.
So I'm assuming you have the Beatles version.
Yes.
And you have the Beyonce version.
Yes.
Do you need 3 versions of Blackbird?
I also have...
Wait, there's more versions of Blackbird?
I also have the Nina Simone version.
One of them damn versions
and the Glee cast version.
One of them damn versions gotta go.
And the Carly Simon
there's
version.
6 versions?
I think there's even more than that. And the Bobby McFerrin version. We got a lot of Blackbirds. We're gonna figure out which one to delete. What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, March 26th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, Grizzlies win. They beat the Jazz by 37, as you should beat this version of the Utah Jazz by 37. We'll have the highlights. We'll have the reaction to everything from last night in Salt Lake City. We'll do a little oops, we missed it again. Stories from the week we have not gotten to. Damian Lillard is out indefinitely for the Milwaukee Bucks. Jimmy Butler's return to Miami last night with the Warriors, and the Giants have a new quarterback in the quarterback room. It is Russell Wilson. We'll get into all that. DeAngelo Williams will join us about 40 minutes in. Never know what we'll talk with him about. And then we'll do some story time. Be sure to vote on the story option of the day. If you are joining us live, we'll do some WTFs. It's a Wednesday. You know what we say.
We don't have WTF stories. Not WTF. We don't have story time stories.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's so much to get to in WTF.
Oh. Plot twist.
Yeah,
That's what you say. What? WTF?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
We are in March, which is Women's History Month.
True.
And we were talking about how do we kick off the show? What can we talk about? And we were like, why don't we talk about women's shoes? The Sabrina one. Okay.
Can't go
good,
wrong.
right?
That's a good shoe.
And the two, you could argue, is even better. But the
You
one's
can't
fine.
have the two without the one.
Yeah.
though.
In the month of February, the Sabrina 2 was the second most worn shoe in the NBA in minutes played. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
You've coached a lot of different versions of the SEC, and obviously there's never been one deeper than this. What's it like been coaching in this?
The reason for the league being so good is the commitment. Commitment to coaching, commitment to facilities, commitment to the NIL across the board. There is not anybody in our league that's not investing in all those things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Good morning, good Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Made it to the middle of the week. If you make it to the middle of the week, you can make it through anything. CJ thought that he avoided me saying that. Did you just turn my mic off?
Jessica, I'm over here doing other production type stuff.
I get nervous because every time I say
You don't have
such
to
a
say it
meaningful
again.
statement.
We got you. We heard you first.
Listen, this is a good Wednesday. This is a Wednesday to be celebrated. A Wednesday where we get to come in here and talk about the Memphis Grizzlies getting a big old dub in Salt Lake City, Utah last night. Let's hit the highlights from last night's action. Grizzlies Jazz. Woosah! Everybody breathe. Jaren Jackson Jr. putting in work early. The finish over Walker Kessler. Jaren with 10 of his 19 points coming in the first quarter. Knocks down a triple. Ensuing possession for the Jazz. A little swiper no swiping from Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie doesn't know, but Scottie be hooping. Opposite of hooping when the Grizzlies went down 14 and the Jazz hit 13 threes in the first half. But the Grizz on a 19-4 run and Desmond Bane like, let me help you capture that flag, Utah. Grizzlies trailed by 1 at half. Must have dunked their heads in a bowl of ice and Saratoga spring water at the break because another Jazz turnover here is going to lead to Scottie Pippen Jr. Transition corner three, cashes in, and the Grizzlies have the lead. A little bit later, Grizz up 4. Desmond Bane to the cup. He misses, but Jaren Jackson Jr. jumping jellyfish arms. Let's go ahead and watch that again because one, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s wingspan is ridiculous. But even the baskets in Utah understand the assignment here. Grizzlies pulling away a little rarefied air as Pippen finds Jay Huff for just a normal, regular schmegular dunk. But don't fret, DJ hit the remix immediately because Huff with the reverse. It's the classics. We're pulling out all of the Huff greatest hits because next up, it's Statue of Liberty. Or Bibberty. This is your brain on March Madness commercials. Grizzlies on a 60-20 run as they go on to win 140-103. 60-20 run. That is what you want to see against the Utah Jazz. My only gripe with last night's action, CJ, is that the Grizzlies did not lay the beat down in the first half so that I could have escaped and watched the season finale of Severance that I have now gone nearly a week without having the opportunity to watch. Because if the Grizzlies are up 30 at halftime in Utah, I could probably make the decision to flippity-floppity over to the great Apple Television. But instead, the Grizzlies were down 1, and when they were down 14, I thought we were at risk of an absolute crash out from Grizz fans on the internet. I'm just scrolling my timeline while watching the game, and things were bleak, things were bad. But the crisis was averted because the Grizzlies came out of that half, and almost similar to what the Clippers did to them in Los Angeles on Friday, they had a completely different energy coming out of that half and ultimately take off outscoring the Jazz in the second half of that game. Let me do the math. 76 to 39. 76 to 39. That is a Utah Jazz team that doesn't want to win games. Let's call it what it is. 16-win Jazz team. Lauri Markkanen sits last night. Jordan Clarkson sits last night. Colin Sexton played like 18 minutes last night. You saw one of the worst air balls of your entire life from this Utah Jazz team. Did you see the shot from KJ Martin?
I'm aware of it.
Are you aware?
Yes, I am.
This air ball, you can't lose to a team that shoots an air ball like this in the middle of the game. KJ Martin, if we have that video, it was so bad, he tried to wipe his hands afterwards to be like, oh no, my hands must have been wet. They were not. It was just a bad air ball. But this is what the Utah Jazz are. And so you want to win by 37. It's the kind of game where does the Grizzlies beating the Jazz by 37 really prove anything? Does it really mean anything? Like, not technically, but if the Grizzlies had lost to the Jazz, it would have meant everything. So it felt critically important for the Grizzlies not just to win, but to win emphatically. Scottie Pippen Jr., add him to the officially, like he's probably already gotten to this point, but last night, stamp it, send it off, officially one of the trusted players going into the postseason. Like, I trust Scottie Pippen Jr. in a playoff rotation at this point. He is setting the tone defensively, offensively. He had 10 assists last night. He moves up to 8th on the Grizzlies' all-time list of most players with 10 or more assists. Can you tell me who he is tied with for 8th in that category?
For 8th?
Games with 10 or more assists.
Games with 10 or more assists. Tony Roten? I don't know.
Marc Gasol.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Marc Gasol.
Was the word jellyfish?
Sure was.
There we go.
I so badly wanted to. And for people who don't know, Luke, our wonderful social media savant, gives me a word to put into the highlights that we do after every Grizzlies win. And today's word was jellyfish. And I desperately was trying to figure out a way to do the Finding Nemo quote where Dory is like, that's a jellyfish. It's a squishy. I will call it Squishy, and it will be my friend. Hi, Squishy. But it just, you know.
That would be
We were
kind
down.
of long.
I'm sorry, we had serious business, and I had to get a Saratoga Springs reference in there because that is the water of champions. And obviously,
I've never heard of that water before
water
this
of
weekend.
champions. Well, now you've heard of it, haven't you? I'm convinced that entire morning routine video is just like
An ad for
a deep
Saratoga?
ad for Saratoga Springs water. Like, we're gonna find out one day. Ashton Hall is his name. I don't know. I just call him morning routine guy. It was all some deep. There's gonna be emails for days of how do we sell this Saratoga Springs water. We are going to come up with the dumbest thing possible, but here's the water. Anyway, Scottie was awesome. The burst by J. Huff is exactly what you needed. Dunks like that inspire fun. They inspire confidence. And I think that's what my ultimate hope is for the whole team coming out of last night's win. Not that you beat the Jazz, but you did it in a way that can inspire confidence from a variety of players. Like Scottie Pippen Jr.'s been playing like this. J. Huff has had some opportunities where he has come in and been able to flip a switch within a game. Vince Williams Jr. starts to find some of that version of Vince Williams Jr. That was the hope of what he would be. He ends up with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and assist. He was much better defensively last night. Zach Edey late in the game had some positive trends. If you can take those things and they are not just good performances against a bad Utah Jazz team, and it starts to be good performances that meld into these final 10 games of the regular season, that's what you're hopeful for. Like, at the end of the day, more players have to start getting to the point where it is not just about Ja, Jaren, and Dez. It's who's going to help them come this postseason. And I thought last night was a step in the right direction for that.
Cool. That's certainly one way to look at things. J. Huff being ready to go when his number was called, reminiscent of Xavier Tillman when X was here. Rob Fisher on the broadcast as J. Huff is doing, playing really, really well. One of the best games J. Huff has played all season. Certainly one of the best games J. Huff has played since January. Rob Fisher is talking about, the fact that Jay Huff was told that he was no longer in the rotation, but he needed to stay ready just in case his number was called upon. His number was called upon yesterday. He came out and he performed at a high enough level for the Grizzlies to win that game. And that's what you want from Jay Huff in this moment in time, is when your number is called, be out there and be ready to go. Listen, right? It's great to see guys go out there and have good games. I don't want to take away from any of those things. I do want to see more of it before I'm like, oh, okay, you can depend on some of these people.
I've only added Scotty to the depend on list.
That's one too many for me. You depend on, for me, still to this day, the 3 players who you're paying all the money to. Those are the ones I trust and who I will depend on when the going gets tough. Those are the only ones who I think can get going. So, but last night, they were down 14, and those other guys stepped up. To your point, Scottie Pippen stepped up in a big way. Jay Huff stepped up in a big way. And Mike Wallace has brought up Scottie Pippen. Brevin Knight has talked about Scottie Pippen incessantly on the broadcast, where it is, hey, you need a true point guard out there to run things and to keep everything organized. So even if he is making mistakes by the bunches, what he brings you in a offensive organization, getting everybody in their spots and making sure everything is right from a point guard standpoint, that has real true value no matter what. You don't want necessarily Bane to be your primary ball handler. He can't dribble. You don't want Luke Kennard being your primary ball handler. That takes him off of the shot making plan or part of his game. So having Scottie Pippen out there, freeing up one or both of those guys at a single time, absolutely helps this team out offensively. And he's pesky on defense. He tries really hard. I guess sometimes I think he could be in a bit better position. But
I think every person on this team could be in a better position. Let's get to that.
Scotty the most. Scotty is
the most?
All the way.
The most?
Yes. Who's more? Vince is one of those two where
Vince,
it is, why are you so far over in help?
Well, okay, so one of the things that pops off from last night, one, Jaren Jackson Jr. leaves this game in the third quarter. He did come back to the bench, which was good to see. He got elbowed in the face by Kyle Filipowski. Hopefully it is not a matter of a long-term situation for Jaren. It did make me think of Brandon Clark, not from the PCL standpoint, knock on wood, fingers crossed, but from the, took an elbow to the face. Brandon had to get stitches. I think he missed 2 games for that, I believe. Anyway, Grizzlies play the Oklahoma City Thunder on Thursday, so we'll see what the injury report looks like for that. Obviously, Ja was out last night, again, with a hamstring strain. He was super active on the bench, though, in comparison to the last few games. He was up. He was moving around. He was moving and grooving, which I thought was a positive. If you're looking for positives from the bench, that was one of them. If you're looking for interesting things from the bench, after Jaren goes out in the third quarter, and I painstakingly went through and tried to figure out where this happened. There is a video that has gone around the Grizzlies verse this morning of Desmond Bane and Santi Aldama getting into it a bit on the bench. Desmond pushes Santi back into the bench seats and Santi falls back, but then pops right back up. It's a quick moment, and the two of them are obviously having some words. I think it was the timeout about a minute after the Jaren injury happened. So the Jaren injury happens, he leaves the game, jets to the locker room, but the gameplay continues. And about a minute later, there was a nice Scotty finish. In fact, Scotty can create for himself and others, which is a big positive on this team, but we're past the point of talking about Scottie Pippen Jr. So he has a layup around Filipowski, I think, or maybe it was around Kessler. And opposite direction, Jazz are going. Isaiah Collier's bringing the ball up. And Desmond Bane, I think Des was supposed to have Collier. He's lost in the sauce in the paint. Santi has to pick him up. They get bailed out because Isaiah Collier travels. And Utah calls a timeout after that. And the last thing you see on the broadcast, I went back and rewound through, is Santi kind of turns to Des and says something. And then I'm assuming that's where it takes over from the clip that ends up on social media of someone who was at the game, where they're yelling at each other on the bench. The push happens. Could Desmond Bane not have pushed Santi? Sure. I appreciated the spirit of it. This happens in sports. I appreciate the competition. The Grizzlies were only up 9 at that point, and they went on to win by 37. So,
one of the things Brevin Knight talked about is the Grizzlies in this stretch, they hadn't been good at maintaining and ending runs, right? So maintaining their runs when they go on one of these 11-2 type of things, and ending runs when other teams start to go on a run, and preventing runs from happening. And in that moment, the Grizzlies are up 9. They've got the momentum. That play right there could take the momentum over to the Jazz side, and it's something goofy like, hey, that's your guy. Why are you looking around for anything? The most important thing on the basketball court is the ball. So if you're looking around and nobody's got the ball, go get it. And so, like, yeah, that's something that I'm sure they would have talked about in the locker room at halftime, pregame, things like that. Both the, hey, we need to stop runs, we need to maintain runs, and hey, when you get back in transition, match up defensively. And this isn't a rookie making the mistake. This is Dez making the mistake. And if you're Santi, you and Dez are like here. You and Dez have the experience on the team. On the court at the time, it was Scotty, it was Wells,
Huff.
and it was Huff. So of those 3, none of them can go and tell Dez, hey, get your head out your ass. Yeah. Santi can, and Santi did if that's where it happened. And whatever happened, Santi was on Dez about something that Dez had done, and Dez, stop. I know. Stop. I get it. I got it. Well, if you get it, do it. What the hell are you talking about? I get it. Do it. Don't tell me you got it. Stop making dumbass mistakes. You're too old. You've been playing in this league too long, Dez, to be making those types of mistakes. And if that's the attitude that Santi had towards Dez, who probably in the back of his mind, I can't believe I'm getting chewed out by Santi Aldama about some defensive mistakes that I've made. We got to put an end to this. Then it gets a little physical, very, very small physical. It was just a push, but Dez got those gigantic biceps. Of course, he doesn't know how strong his pushes are.
He also drinks the Saratoga Springs water.
He probably does. So Santi, stop, I get it. And then that lends itself to Santi kind of tripping, stumbling backwards, and then landing in the seat, to which he pops right back up. And he doesn't go at Dez, right? Like if there was some type of real tension, some type of real beef, when Santi hits that seat, he's coming up swinging. He's coming up swinging, or he's coming up grabbing, or Dez is coming up swinging, Dez coming up grabbing. Nobody came up doing either one of those things. They both came up still talking to one another. And then it all sort of died down as John Conchar looked down laughing, and John Morant walked to the back with a smirk on his face.
Well, and it was so funny because the first 2 people to get between them is Zach Edey and Jalen Wells.
Because they're the
it's
closest.
your 2 rookies.
Because they're the
They
closest.
are up, they are in the middle. Edey's kind of turned into that guy in waiting. Like, I'm not willing to yet give Zach Edey full bouncer status. He's a rookie. Like, it takes time to achieve that level of Steven Adams-ness. I saw a Steven Adams screen last night that almost ended somebody's life, and I was reminded just that body and what it is capable of doing on the
Steven
basketball
Adams
court
body.
is absurd. That came out so wrong. Stop. But I love that Edey is willing to play that role, and I thought it was fun that Wells was in there too. And then Ja, who was on the bench, eventually gets in there, and everything ends.
Ja ends it.
Yes.
When Ja comes in,
the second he's there, it's
and
over.
It's like, Dez, step this way.
Step to the
and he's
side.
like, okay, I get it.
But
Stop.
they're passionate. Like, listen, if the Grizzlies go and lose to the Jazz, all the people who are, it's just the Jazz. I get it. It's just the Jazz. It's the worst team in the NBA, Jazz, playing without many of their players who don't want to win, who want Cooper Flag like they want water. Like, that is all that is important to Utah right now. But if the alternative is losing to the Jazz, listen, I watched the Warriors game last night, the Jimmy Butler return to Miami game, and the Warriors played like poo. Like, the Warriors without Steph Curry are horrible. And the Warriors, okay, no Steph Curry. The Heat are aggrieved for Jimmy Butler, so they're playing with a purpose. And then the Warriors, for whatever reason, went to Miami for 5 days. 5 days in Miami as an NBA team? That is a scheduled L playing without Steph, and that is what happened to the Warriors. So last night's win for the Grizzlies, all that to say, super important. Because now they have a full 3-game lead on the Warriors, who are in 6th in the West. And the Grizzlies, as of this morning, this is a volatile situation, they're in the 4th spot in the West. They're a half game ahead of the Lakers. You play the Lakers at home on Saturday. But all of these games, to have a full 3 games up on the Warriors, who also come to FedEx Forum next week, is big in the avoid dropping into either the 6th spot or, God forbid, the play-in argument. So last night was a big win in the right direction of seeding come postseason. Obviously, a lot to still play out there, but at least you were not Jimmy Butler losing to your ex.
Work? So
Yeah.
the 6 seed plays a 3 seed,
Yes.
and then the winner plays. We don't reseed, right?
No.
So the winner there will play. Oh, so either one would be fine. I got you.
4-5. I think a
No, not the
Grizzlies-Lakers
4-5.
series
No,
will
not the 4-5.
send the city into the gulag. It would be tough, but we'll get there when we get there.
I think all of these series
We'll get there when we get there.
Because it's going to be tough. You're going to be playing good teams no matter what.
Right.
In the first round, you're going to play a good team.
No matter what.
No matter what. So pray for home court advantage. If you don't get it, buckle up, Buttercup. Let's get it going.
We'll take a break. We'll come back, get around the NBA. Some big news for the Bucks last night. A little bit more from Jimmy's return to Miami and a new quarterback in New York. Can't wait for the Giants quarterback room with Russell Wilson added to the mix yesterday. We'll get into all that and more when we come back.
I thought about Steven Adams' body yesterday.
I swear, he didn't even move, and this guy just flies back.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing at FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with two big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock,
they knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by
And
WWE.
then the kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Debo traded from San Francisco to the Commanders for a 5th round pick. There's no other sport where you would get a player of his ilk for a 5th round pick.
Over under total yards for Debo. If they set it at 1,000, you think he hits that over?
Total yards?
Total yards from scrimmage, total yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Doom, doom, doom.
Oh, yeah. All right. Grizzlies win last night against the Utah Jazz. As mentioned, Warriors lost to the Heat in Miami. It was Jimmy Butler's return game to Miami. CJ, do you have any issue at all with Jimmy Butler not saying anything to his former team, the Heat, on his way out? Warriors lose. He's like, peace, I'm out of here. Doesn't do anything.
No.
I don't either.
I don't like post-game handshakes.
You're anti-post-game handshake.
I'm anti. if you want to, you can go over there and holler at people, but it should not be expected for you to get in the single file line and go in and shake hands. You just finished playing. Somebody just finished losing.
Yes.
Either you got beat in a close game or beaten in a blowout. Tempers are high, emotions are high. The right thing at the wrong time ends up with a player like Michael Bell being put on his head, and if you know, you know.
And I think there was like a quick hug to Kevin Love before the game. There was like a small interaction with Alec Burks. The main thing that people were looking out for seems as if nothing with Bam Adebayo, nothing with Tyler Hero. I think he had some moments with Terry Rozier as well. But the bottom line is, like, things did not end well. This wasn't a relationship that ended where they gave each other a hug and said, I wish you well on the opposite coast. Like, Jimmy Butler and the Heat reached the point in their relationship where there was no way forward. The only way forward was separation. And that's what we got. So I think it's a little absurd to think that just it's more than a couple of weeks, but a month later at this point, something is going to change dramatically enough where Jimmy walks back in and it's like, yes, thank you for all the memories. Maybe time will give that opportunity. They did give him a tribute video for his return, which they should have. That's a necessity. That would have felt weird. It would have felt petty if they didn't have one of those. But I think anything other than that, we're reaching a bit for the drama in this case. But people love the drama of exes coming back together for one night.
They're teammates, which makes them co-workers, not friends.
Yeah.
All right, like sometimes
there can be.
Sometimes there are people up here. I'm not friends with them, but you're friends with people up here, right? You know, so they're your friends and they're your co-workers. You're not friends with me. We're just co-workers. So, like, if I leave, I'm not expecting, if I see you out and about,
I don't talk to you.
I'm not expecting to be like, oh, Jessica's gonna come up and give me a big old hug.
No,
I
would never.
Just a tip of the cap and keep
That'd
it
be
moving.
so weird.
It is weird.
I see you on the side of the road, I just drive past.
You do.
Sometimes I honk just to try to scare you.
And it startles the
But
hell
not
out
out of kindness.
No.
Not out of...
No, out of straight.
God forbid out of friendship. Just
so no, like,
straight.
let them, why do you want these dudes to be friends so much? That's something I don't understand. And then the same people who want them to be friends and friendly will turn around when there are actual friends in this league and be like, oh, the league is so soft. Everybody's friends. Rah, rah, rah. Shut up.
I did appreciate there was an ESPN piece yesterday that came out about Jimmy Butler and the Warriors. And it was a nice story about Jimmy loving to play dominoes because his dad loved to play dominoes and taught him how to play dominoes. I didn't even realize, I guess I missed that Jimmy changed the Butler on the back of his jersey once he moved to Golden State to Butler III in honor to recognize all the generations of the Butlers in his family. But he and Draymond, I guess, have been playing dominoes a lot. And it started back when they were teammates for Team USA, and Jimmy beat Draymond then, and Draymond's been practicing. But this quote went crazy viral coming out of it. Jimmy saying, I just want to win. I don't give an F about nothing else. We ain't going to never butt no mother effing heads as it pertains to him and his relationship with Draymond Green. I do love is it a triple negative? I don't give an F about nothing else. We ain't going to never butt no mother effing heads. If you really dive into that, not sure where we come out on the butting heads movement. Well, I think maybe it works. You put crazy with crazy.
Until it doesn't.
Until it
doesn't.
But in the meantime, but when it does.
Why do you want them to be friends? They're fine now.
Life's hard out here, CJ. We just want everyone to be friends.
They got their own support groups. They got
just
their
don't
own friends.
You don't want Draymond to end up punching someone in the face, and you don't want Jimmy Butler to end up leaving the Warriors in the fashion that he has left every team that's come before that.
I do want Jimmy Butler to leave the Warriors that way. I do want those things. I want Draymond to punch Jimmy in the face. And if Jimmy Butler plans on leaving, which he doesn't plan on, but if Jimmy Butler leaves Golden State, the same way he left Miami, same way he left the Timberwolves, same way he left the Bulls, I think there was something there with that, right? Like if he...
There has always been something.
Not with the 76ers. He just left for free agency. So if he leaves the Warriors the same way he's left two of those teams, for certain, the Heat and the Timberwolves, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. Draymond is going to say something about that if Draymond is still on the roster. Draymond is going to say something about that and step to him directly. Just like Draymond stepped to Kevin Durant directly. And they were like, okay, Dre, you've gone too far. We got to sit you down. He got suspended for that, if I recall correctly, going at Kevin Durant because Durant wouldn't sign the extension. and Draymond dribbling the ball down the court instead of passing Kevin Durant the ball. This whole situation is coming back to me. I've forgotten about it until this moment. Draymond Green, with Kevin Durant on the court, needed a last-second bucket and proceeded to bounce the ball off his knee instead of giving the ball to Kevin Durant, if I remember that correctly. And then when confronted about it, Kurt, say that again, Jacob? Got the rebound and took it full court. And instead of passing it to Kevin Durant, and when confronted about it by Durant, Draymond told him, F you, and went on about how Kevin Durant isn't a real one, right? So if he'll do that to Kevin Durant, he's absolutely going to do it to Jimmy Butler. They're cool now because it's all peaches and cream. Everything is gravy. They playing with house money right now. Next year, and then probably the year after that, when Jimmy Butler might want some more money and starts acting out, they're not going to be cool. They're not going to be buddies. They're not going to be playing dominoes no more. It's going to be good stuff. I'm here for it.
Elsewhere in the NBA, Damian Lillard is out indefinitely for the Milwaukee Bucks with a blood clot. Deep vein thrombosis strikes again. He has it in his calf. This is the third major player this season to deal with a blood clot. Obviously, we saw Victor Wembanyama in his second season out for the rest of the year when he developed one in his shoulder. Asir Thompson was diagnosed last March, which made him unavailable at the beginning of this season. He ultimately ends up coming back and is able to play this year. But they use the term indefinitely for Damian Lillard. There's not that much time left in the season. I would assume, you know what they say, when you assume, you're making an ass out of you and me. But I would assume this probably means we will have the second year that the Bucks don't end up getting to play a playoff series with both Dame and Giannis on the floor together, which is disappointing for the Bucks. I do hate that we do this. Most importantly, I hope Damian Lillard's okay. Like, we just skirt past the person who is dealing with a blood clot, which is terrifying. And I know he had a quote about how, unfortunate it is coming at this time, but he has to be with his kids, has to be with his wife, and be around family in this time, because you have to be on blood thinning medication. Like, it is a very scary thing. It is something that can kill you. So to know that there is something inside of you that could kill you if not treated properly, or if it were to go awry, that has to be a really scary thing to deal with. As for the Bucks, has to be a really scary thing to look out and say, for what? Like, what has this all been for? And the timing of it is awful, but also perfect, because Giannis Antetokounmpo did his annual interview with Sam Amick at The Athletic. They always sit down for a little Q&A, and they were talking about the disappointment of this season and through injuries and trades. And there was a quote that came out of Giannis's interview where Sam had asked him about the two things being connected between the MVP discussion passing him by this year and also the fact that this Bucks team is not being seen as a true contender. And Giannis went on a little monologue about the importance of winning and how much he loves winning, and went as far as saying that winning is better than intimacy. You think winning is better than intimacy?
Winning a championship? Yeah, I'd agree with that. Absolutely.
So he just said that, this is the full quote. The MVP discussion is great. I've been in the MVP discussion, the last 7 years? Yeah, probably the last 7 years. Top 3, top 4, top 3, top 4. It's good. It's a great compliment. But at the end of the day, winning is a different feeling. I was able to live it once with the 2021 title. Then I don't know if people feel like it counts or it doesn't count or whatever it is, but winning is winning. So is the NBA Cup. It was like, wow, this feeling, man. It's like, it's better than intimacy. So I agree. I think winning a championship, euphoric. Probably better than intimacy. But if you're throwing the NBA Cup, if I'm wife of Giannis, pregnant for a fourth time, by the way, like, this man loves intimacy. This man has no issues with intimacy. His wife is just waiting to pop out their fourth baby. I think I'd feel a little aggrieved if he was like, winning the NBA Cup better than intimacy.
Like an NBA Finals championship.
Fine.
Yes. NBA Cup, I'm with you on that. That's like, how intimate are we talking about here? Because I feel like that's just a little tug and pull.
Like, you're playing on Disney courts.
Like, I feel like that's not full on intimacy. That's just like scratch and sniff, right? Like, that's not the same type of thing.
It's like third base.
Right.
Which is intimate.
It is, but it's not the real thing. It's not the same thing. The NBA championship is that raw intimacy, dog. Like, that's got to feel good.
The reporter was like, I hope Mariah doesn't read The Athletic. And he literally goes, listen, my wife right now, she's like days from having baby number 4. She might be giving birth right now. Every day I look at my phone and see if she's going to call me. Headline, Giannis says winning is better than intimacy. Subheadline, wife about to have fourth child. His wife is literally always pregnant. I cannot imagine.
And Giannis is literally always in the MVP conversation. And if they got him some help, which they did try and do with Dame, if it had worked out, he'd be a legit contender for a finals trip.
Yes.
Right, always.
Giannis, one of the best players in the world, has only won one championship.
4 kids, though, so.
4 kids. All right, we do have to get to Russell Wilson signed with the Giants yesterday, which means the New York Giants quarterback room is now Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito. Not Danny DeVito. I always do that. Tommy DeVito. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito. I need the Giants to right the wrongs of Hard Knocks. Like, no one wants to do Hard Knocks anymore because of the whole Saquon situation. And I think the only way that you can regain the karma of having ruined Hard Knocks for everyone is to bring Hard Knocks back in, because I need cameras to capture every waking moment between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on the same team. The pregame prayers will be generational.
I enjoy Jesus as much as the next person.
Generational.
I could not be in the midst of a Jameis-led or
No,
Russ
if I'm Tommy
led
DeVito, I'm like, help.
With the
And he's
other,
Italian.
with the other one around, right? Jameis-led prayer, fine. Russ-led prayer, fine. Russ with Jameis around, the showmanship that's going to pop off, because that's preacher and a deacon. That's what we're talking about here. That prayer is going to be 40 effing minutes. We're going to miss the anthem.
Mina Kimes used a Righteous Gemstones reference and had Tommy DeVito as Judy Gemstone. I was like, this is perfect. Like, because no matter what you do, no matter how religious you are, no matter how much you might pray every day, twice a day. You can't compete. You can't compete with those two. It's just going to be the motivational words brought forth from the Bible for the New York Giants. And God has the chance to do the funniest thing possible.
0-17.
Make them bad again. Make them bad again. All right, we got to take a quick break. DeAngelo Williams is going to join us on the other side. We never know what we will chat with DeAngelo about. We'll find out when we come back.
FBK, fly by King. Wheels through the lane, now spins back. Ja hangs, puts it in! Oh, what a shot by Morant in the clutch. So hot. Oh, Jerry said no!
Because he doesn't quit on the play, comes up with a monster block.
Grammy, Academy, and Golden Globe Award-winning superstar, Mary J. Blige, live in Memphis. The For My Fans Tour, live at FedEx Forum Saturday, April 19th, with special guests Neo and Mario. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The iconic Mary J. Blige for one night only.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
We are in March, which is Women's History Month.
True.
And we were talking about how do we kick off the show? What can we talk about? And we were like, why don't we talk about women's shoes? The Sabrina one. Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Right?
That's a good shoe.
And the two, you could argue, is even better. But the one's
you can't
fine.
have the two without the one.
Yeah.
Though.
In the month of February, the Sabrina 2 was the second most worn shoe in the NBA in minutes played. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
You've coached a lot of different versions of the SEC, and obviously there's never been one deeper than this. What's it like been coaching in this?
The reason for the league being so good is the commitment. Commitment to coaching, commitment to facilities, commitment to the NIL across the board. There is not anybody in our league that's not investing in all those things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We had big classic news from the Southern Heritage Classic last week when it was announced Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State will be the two classic participants.
Being a part of the classic is a big deal. It's the third year for UAPB and the first year for Alcorn. So I'm just glad we were able to get it done.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Seasons. And most of those winning seasons were like 6-6. Like the Tigers weren't that good before you. Yeah, take the 3 box.
Welcome back. It is time to catch up with the great DeAngelo Williams. DeAngelo, what's up this Wednesday?
CJ. You were very disrespectful. I did not enjoy that timeout at all. But I this is what I want to talk about. And I am interested to hear what y'all, the most insane roadkill you have ever seen.
Oh.
Ooh, that's
a good question.
Yesterday was the talk of the town. It was a cow on the side of the road.
Like a whole cow?
It took me until this morning to get the story of how the cow died. So it was a cow on the side of the road taking the kids to school yesterday. And I was like,
the cow was taking the kids to school?
No, I was taking the kids to school. The damn cow was asleep on the side of the road. He was taking that eternal sleep though.
Oh.
And I kind of looked over and like I damn near hit the car in front of me because I looked at the cow. I was like, damn, is that a cow? Like that.
Wait, you hit a car?
No, I did not hit the cow.
No, but you hit a car because you were distracted by the cow?
I almost hit a car
because
you know how you look over and you're like, man, I know there ain't no damn cow. And then I looked again and I took that long look, but my foot was still on the gas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I know I ain't just see a damn cow on the side of the road. Like that's the most, but there was no car pieces. There was no car. Cause like if you hit a cow,
that's a unit.
There's going to be something left behind.
Yeah. They always tell you like, don't hit a deer because a deer can do more damage to you. I mean, obviously you kill the deer, but then you would also take damage.
Nobody's purposely trying to hit a deer. Okay.
No.
They just kind of fall out of the sky and it happens. But like a cow is not something that just,
the deer does not fall out of the sky.
Why is this cow just roaming the streets? This reminds me, when I was over in Arusha, their cows were just on the side of the streets, just walking up and down. We don't do that here. They're usually in a fence. Well, how did the cow get out?
Look, it took me until this morning to find out. I want to hear what y'all most insane roadkill on the side of the road has been. It was a cow for me because
that would take the cake.
I was like, how the hell? But this is what's funny though. The cops were standing out there, and you know how they had that stand back and look like, damn, how we gonna get this damn cow from off the side of the road?
Yes.
They had that look going, and I was like, oh, we all feel the same way. Like, first of all, how the hell did this cow get here? What happened? There's no car. Like they were walking around. That's how long I looked. That's how I almost hit the car in front of me because I was like, damn, what are they gonna do? They had a crane service come out to lift the cow up to put it on the back of the dump truck.
Yeah. So, do you live close to a movie theater? I'm just curious because maybe the cow was trying to go to the movies.
Her mic is now off, DeAngelo. She's off screen as well.
Oh my!
You can't hear her anymore,
bro.
She's terrible.
Where the hell did that come from, CJ?
I don't know, DeAngelo.
What the fuck?
You take time out of your day, DeAngelo, every week to come join us on this here show. And
Come on, that was pretty good.
Stop it. Be quiet.
No.
No, we can't hear you.
Has she been like this all morning?
No, she's still right now. No. What?
Say who's there?
Who's there?
Interrupting cow. Come on. Interrupting cow moo. Okay, don't you sometimes miss the, like, when I was a kid, we would do those stupid jokes all the time, and now we're too cool because we're old. Back to your question, DeAngelo.
No, we're too cool. They wasn't funny then.
I thought they were funny.
If you were the little kid running around where I was from making those jokes, we absolutely hit you with some purple knuckles. We absolutely gave you wet. We absolutely gave you wet willies if that's how you was rolling.
Similar to that, you don't see a cow every day, and like CJ was saying, cows when he was traveling. In Ireland, there's just like an absurd amount of sheep, and we
I'm
saw.
talking about what you've seen with your own eyes.
I was
not
there.
What you heard.
We were in a car, and there was a dead sheep in the middle of the road, and it made me so sad because these sheep are so cute, and for the most part, you're going pretty slow in Ireland because those roads are small, and somehow 2 cars fit on each road, but you're doing the twisties and the turnies, and there was just a dead sheep in the middle of the road, and it depressed me for at least an hour. Because I thought about this poor sheep that just somehow wandered outside of the pen and ended up dead in the middle of the road. Just like that cow. They didn't mean to be there.
I don't know, man. Outside of, I remember the first time I saw an armadillo on the side of the road, I was like, holy hell, that is strange. I didn't know we could do that to those. I'd have to say skunk. We had a situation where I was staying out in Antioch, and there was a couple of skunk in the community, and one of them got hit by
the community.
Yeah, in the neighborhood, it was just skunks running around. I don't know if you guys ever seen Over the Hedges, but like it was a real Over the Hedges type community.
Like cartoons.
Yeah, like I would go. One time we went to, my mom yelled at me for not taking the trash out. It was middle of the night. I was like, okay, I'll take it out in the morning. She's like, no, I already took it out. It's outside of the door. Go get it and walk it to the trash can. There's no lights. This is a rural-ish community out in Antioch before everybody moved out to Antioch. It's like, okay, fine, I'll go do it. Thank God I turned the lights on outside before going because it's pitch black outside. When I turn the lights on, there's a skunk, there's like 3 raccoons, there's a possum, and I'm pretty sure there was a porcupine just standing there in the trash looking at me. And the skunk got on its hind legs and started spraying the door. Thankfully, it was closed. But somebody hit a skunk, and so you had the rotting smell mixing with the skunk smell for weeks. It was awful.
That's a bad one.
So I'm going to tell you, unrelated, how the cow ended up there.
Yes, please do.
So yesterday we go to a restaurant and eat lunch, and it was the talk of the town because everybody was trying to figure out how the hell did this cow end up on the side of the road and there was no debris there. And the lady at the restaurant that was our waitress was like, it was a diseased cow. It had to be. And I'm like, well, you don't think if it was a diseased cow that as it was walking to its final resting spot, somebody would have been like, oh shit, it's a cow. We probably should get it like it's lost. Like it would have been all over everybody's radar. It wouldn't have just kind of appeared there, right? So unrelated this morning, I call because I needed fuel at the farm. So I called my fuel guy and I go, man, it's been a pretty crazy weekend. I was like, I was like, dude, it was a dead cow on the side of the road. He was like, it's funny that you say that. And I go, what do you mean it's funny? Like dead cows aren't funny. I mean, unless you're eating them. And then, the jokes behind that other than the movies, I mean, that wasn't funny either.
You repeated it. It'll stick with you. You're going to be later today. You're going to be like, God damn it.
That wasn't the only cow that died yesterday. It was like 4 or 5. Well, apparently there was a truck where the door swung open in the back.
No.
And he was tossing cows out of the back. They lost 4 cows yesterday. They lost 1 there. They lost 2 like 3 miles down the road. And I was like, were these cows like jumping? He said the name of the company. I don't want to say the name of the company, but yeah, they lost 4 cows yesterday. And the driver didn't realize he lost them, and the door swung open. He got to his final location and was like, oh, and he had to go back to find the cows. Yeah, it was 2 like in the ditch that was 3 miles down the road. Like, yeah, he lost 4 cows. And I was like,
imagine how scared those cows were.
That's not where can you imagine like Final Destination where you're driving down the road? Wing open and you like, oh, they're throwing cows at me.
It's Bad Boys 2 on the interstate with the Haitian gang where they just start throwing cars at them. It's that. Like, oh, that mother ever flipped. as the cow does a cartwheel over
That
your
was
car.
The first cow that fell was the one right there. Yes.
There's a new Final Destination trailer that
I
just
can't wait to
dropped.
see that
Did
movie.
you watch the trailer?
I'm not watching the trailer. I just want to be scared.
I've only seen the pre-trailer. I haven't watched the full thing, but the pre-trailer is like a bartender, and he drops a glass, and the glass goes into the ice bin that you scoop the ice out of into a cup. And so the implication is that there's a piece of glass in somebody's drink, like instead of a piece of ice, and they're gonna drink it. And
I can't wait to see all the
but
blood flow.
I
from
would
the
give them
throat.
full permission to reuse the idea of like a horrible traffic accident, because the logs coming off the truck is one of the most iconic, fearful scenes in cinematic history. And if they did that with the cows, I'd say you get a pass for kind of staying in the same lane, but going a very different direction.
Well, now this is what I don't understand. Like, obviously, these cows has been transported many, many times before.
Yes.
What makes you, as a cow, like, you know what? I'm gonna go on and step out this door while it's rolling to see, like, it couldn't have been like instant death, like at that speed, right? Like,
It depends how fast they were going.
you can't be going that fast on a rural road as a trucking cattle. Like,
Did you grow up around cows?
I did not grow up around cattle.
Did you grow up around cows?
Country though.
No.
There was like cow tipping was a thing for a while.
I
which
know
was,
that feels like a Caucasian thing because everybody at my school
Yeah.
was big into cow tipping.
cow tipping. But I can't remember. I don't think the cows died.
I can't say
No,
this,
when you
though.
tip a cow, come on now, you push a cow over, it'll get back up. It's fine.
Right?
Yeah, you just have to run away before the cow gets angry and
I kn-
stomps you out.
I always wondered if cow tipping was real.
Yeah.
Like who has the strength to tip over a cow?
It's sleeping. It's unsuspecting. It doesn't know what you're coming.
Aren't they laying down when they're asleep?
Have you not seen
Some of them
cars
stand up.
where they go cow tipping in cars?
I forgot they went cow tipping in cars. So what do we do with the cows now that
Yeah, so where'd
they're
they take them?
gone on to glory?
So they forklift them and put them on the back of like this dump trailer. And I called my wife and I told her, I said, hey, is this kind of like a deer situation where they call people and say, hey, you know, we have this deer on the side of the road. If you want to come get him, you can take him to the processor and like take the meat. Or do they return him back to his rightful owner because now he's a meat cow?
What type of cows were they? That's the other thing. Are they
They
meat
were
cows,
dead
milk
cows.
cows?
Look, I heard so many jokes. They was like, what do you call a cow that's roadkill? Ground beef.
See, that's a good one, Jessica. That's a good one. That's how you tell a joke.
That's an old
damn it.
one too.
That's how you tell a joke, damn
That's
it.
on a popsicle stick.
That's how you tell a joke.
That's a popsicle stick.
That's a good joke. But yeah, what does happen to them? Because I'm this might be an urban legend. I'm not sure. But what I heard was when you're transporting cows, if you open the door and they're laying down, you can't. And they're meat cows, you can't like eat them because there's feces down there, and they've been laying in their feces. So I'm assuming if they bounced off the ground a time or two and ended up in a ditch, you also wouldn't be able to consume them.
Yes, I am.
So do they become like manure? Like, are you using them?
Are you actually turning them into ground beef? But not
Yes.
beef, but like
actual
ground
things,
environmental
to help
sustainability.
crops or things to feed. Do you take them to the local zoo?
Do you cremate them? Do you spread their ashes?
No, you're not doing that. That's money. You
know
could
what,
sell them to the
Jessica?
local zoo.
I'm
for
very
food.
not money to
disappointed in
burn.
you. I am very disappointed in you, Jessica.
Why?
Why would anybody that's perfectly good meat that just happened to dribble itself across the pavement?
I didn't say that.
You just said that. Do they cremate them and spread their ashes?
Oh.
Where,
I
Jessica?
don't know.
Like their
D'Angelo,
favorite pasture?
D'Angelo, she just wanted to set up one of her corny ass jokes
No, I
that
didn't.
she didn't think I caught. I caught that corny ass joke. You stop it.
Corny. I didn't have a
Stop
joke. There was no joke there. I left the joke out. I saved it for later. I put it in my
Oh
bucket.
my gosh.
You said about cremation, that's money to burn, Jessica. That's a corny ass joke. You know it's a corny ass joke.
Yes.
Don't do that with me. I'm in no mood. I'm
can
in
we-
no mood.
CJ, I am utterly disappointed in you in this
Oh
conversation.
my gosh. Stop
God.
it. Stop it. Can we talk basketball just real
No.
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
quick? Okay, so here's what I'm sick and tired of, okay? And I want to make sure that I look at my Memphis fans when we talk about this. I had a really, really close Memphis fan call me, and I'm not sure he's a Memphis fan. And he was like, man, it pisses me off that Penny Hardaway does this every year. They go to the dance, they get kicked out in the first round. And I'm like, he was like, we just don't have a good team. I was like, bro, we just won the conference championship. And he was like, well, what does success mean? Would you rather win a conference title or would you rather go deep into the NCAA? And I was like, that's interesting because you don't win a title if you go deep into the NCAA bracket. Sweet 16 exit, Elite 8 exit, the second round exit. Like an exit is an exit. But winning a championship in your conference with the teams that you have in that conference, I think means a lot more to me than getting exited in the first round of the NCAA tournament or getting an exit regardless of where you go. He was like, we just don't go deep. And I'm like, dude, what do you want from Penny? Like, what do you look at for success? Would you rather not win the conference championship and go 1 or 2 rounds into the NCAA tournament? Is that a successful season? Like, what is your level of success? He was like, man, I just don't know. I don't think Penny's a good coach. I think he's a great recruiter, but I don't think he's a good coach. And I'm like, I don't understand how you could say that when he just won a title outright.
Yeah. Coach of the year in the American, regular season title, conference tournament championship. It was a successful season. 2 things can be true, DeAngelo. Like, there were ultimately goals to make it to the second weekend. Penny Hardaway would tell you those goals first and foremost himself. But I'm with you. Like, at the end of the day, there are only 16 teams left playing in college basketball this upcoming weekend. Everybody else was eliminated in the first or the second round. And you can be disappointed that Memphis did not get to that point. You can also acknowledge that they were down one incredibly significant player in their starting point guard, but also being down their backup point guard. And you could have hoped for better and hoped for a win and hoped for an opportunity to play in the second round and make it to the Sweet 16. But that doesn't take away from all of the success that made for a pretty darn successful season. But we don't have these like nuanced conversations in sports. So a lot of people either go one way or the other. Either they won a championship or the season was trash. And I think that's a waste of time.
What you think, CJ?
I'm not sure. We need that. With some programs, sure, there's a bit more nuance that is required because the conference you're in matters.
Mm-hmm.
An American championship is not the same as a SEC or Big East or Big 10, Big 12, right? Like it's not the same type of thing. Bare minimum, the Memphis Tigers every single year, as long as they stay in the American, bare minimum, they need to win one of the regular season or tournament in their conference. So either be regular season American champs or be tournament champs. All right, so that's a start. And then round of 32, I don't think is an absurd request or expectation for a program the caliber of Memphis, especially if you go by what Tigers fans are quick to tell you about their program. All right, well, if you're this, then one win in the NCAA tournament round or March Madness men's tournament, one win there is what is the bare minimum required for it to be considered a good season. So if you've got a good season, for me this year would look like, since you got the conference championship, great, regular season and tournament, double good, just one win. Just be Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been.
Even being down the players that you're down going into that game.
Because you guys, the Tigers fans, will tell me Memphis is deep. Memphis can recruit with the big boys. Memphis got an NIL package that rivals not just the teams in the mid-majors, but the teams in the power conferences. Yes, even down those dudes, go out there and beat Colorado State. I'm not asking you to go out there and beat one of the middle-of-the-pack SEC teams. I'm not saying beat one of the middle-of-the-pack Big Ten teams. I'm asking you to go out there and beat a team who got into the tournament because they won their conference tournament, right? Like, that's what I'm asking you to go out there and do, and I think you should be able to do that. We did this thought exercise yesterday, DeAngelo. Gave the Tigers a solid C. I gave them extra credit because they had an All-American on roster and because Penny Hardaway was Coach of the Year in the American. So I gave them a solid C. But it's an average season to me. If you're the program that Tigers fans tell me that the Memphis program is, you got to be better than a first-round exit every single year.
And because we did this exercise yesterday, I think being down your starting point guard and your backup point guard does give you at least something to fall back upon of why things went the way they did against a Colorado State team that I believe is a very, very good Colorado State team, a team that was higher than you in the net rankings. There was a reason that they were favored over you in the win. I get that they come from the Mountain West, future Pac-12 school Colorado State, but it was a really good Colorado State team. So on name and on conference recognition, I understand why CJ and some others would view Colorado State as an inferior school that Memphis should absolutely beat. But this is March. Like, these things happen. McNeese beat Clemson, and Memphis beat Clemson earlier in the year. I mean, like, this is what we do. I gave the Tigers a B.
Is Clemson the same type of basketball program that Memphis is from a prestige standpoint? Because if it is, then I'll recalibrate. But I don't think that they are. Also, Clemson should feel disappointed in what they did.
Yes, of course.
You go
you
out
can be
the way that you go
disappointed
out
without putting it as a stink on the entire season.
Yes.
How you go
and
out
I agree with you.
does stink up the season. How you end things is the last thing we remember about the season, isn't it? Shouldn't it stink up the season? I guess
Okay,
I'm wrong.
so here's so is it, and I know you've probably had this question, is it better to make it to the NCAA championship and lose it, or not make it at all?
Yeah,
You
make
have
it
to
and lose
make
it.
it.
Make it and lose
Yeah.
it. If the Tigers made it to a championship game and lost, this season would be a resounding success. They didn't, though. They lost to Colorado State in the first round.
Okay,
Another first round exit.
gotcha. I was just trying to see where you were in this.
DeAngelo, thank
Makes
you for a
sense.
very moving discussion today. We'll see you next.
Stop it.
Bye, DeAngelo.
Stop it,
She's
Jessica.
off. Take her off
Oh
straight.
my God.
We thank you, DeAngelo, and I appreciate your patience in these trying, unpredictable times. Thank you, DeAngelo.
Oh, my God.
We got more stuff coming up next on Jessica Benson's show.
Steer clear.
Oh my God, she did it again. She did it again. WTF coming up next, y'all.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Tony was the defensive guy, but Zebo was the offensive guy. So you could speak to this. It's way worse when you're getting doubled, right?
You got triple. I had went through that for when I was in Portland. You had me on the team. You got triple. You hear me, Rose? You can't talk about those. You got to talk about triples.
You got triple teams.
This man was scoring on 3 dudes.
Swing, TA.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock,
They knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by
And then the
WWE.
kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
This team is doing everything that Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff envisioned it could do.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Can I offer you another one? Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
You got these nerds in the chat doing it now also.
I'm an influencer.
Is this the type of influence you wanted to wield?
Yeah, this is what it's all about.
You worked
if
so
we're being
hard
honest.
to wield the influence of bad
Yeah,
cow
as a woman
jokes.
in sports, I just wanted to get to the point where I could make bad cow jokes all morning long. Do you want to know the influencer that I really want to be? The kind that has such an incredible morning
Can we just roll
routine
this video?
that it's taken over the world. I think we're reaching the end. I hope we're reaching the end of this video's run on the internet, but it is still living strong. I saw multiple sports teams with posts this morning referencing the morning routine. So here it is. If you have somehow missed it, this is a video that was posted by Ashton Hall. And if we can pop it up, we can talk over it as we see this man's morning routine, starting with the mouth tape at 3:53 a.m., as all men
Like
do.
what is mouth tape for?
We'll get to that. I
Okay.
love the little peck jiggle. We get a nice little swishy swashy of some sparkling water.
4
Goes
o'clock,
outside
go
at
outside and
4.
do what?
Just a few push-ups.
Push-ups.
4 minutes of push-ups, maybe like 13 minutes of push-ups. That's like a 20-minute workout. Then we get a brief journal. I love
For
the
2
brief
minutes?
journaling. Watching some sort of video on his phone.
Put a shirt on. Oh.
And now we get the classic face dunk.
What is he doing there?
In the Saratoga
I
Springs
gotta change
water.
your draws. All right.
I like the Worthy shirt.
Whatever
But
you're
here's my
doing,
favorite. That bracelet, that's a Van Cleef Arpels bracelet. Red flag, never trust a man who wears Van Cleef Arpels.
Never trust a man with shorts that tight.
Also that. Do some sprints, get it in. It's only 7:30 in the morning. What are we gonna do? What's at 7:31? Take the shoes off. Oh, a quick 4-minute dive.
He spent 4 minutes jumping in the pool.
Well, he spent like 15 in the pool, but the dive itself took 4 minutes. So he just levitated for 4, goes home, showers in all of his jewelry, because of course, eats a banana, uses the banana peel to wipe his face. Suddenly there's a woman delivering him everything else that he needs. She cooks him some eggs and bacon. It's 9:23.
Turkey bacon, avocado toast, eggs.
And he's ready for his day of meetings. When you saw this video for the first time, your thoughts?
We don't wash our hair like that. Right? Like that was my, I don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think black dudes is out here shampooing and conditioning our hair. Now, listen, I'm bald, so what do I know? But when I had hair, I don't think that I was doing
You weren't lathering?
that. No. No, so that was the first thing that confused me. Then it was, hey, how long was my man in the air on that jump? That's the second thing. And then everything else that I got on this video has already been said online because everybody has been having a field day with this video. Who's just dunking their face in ice cold water for what?
Girls. A lot of girls do it.
Really?
Yeah, we do all sorts of this weird stuff. The mouth tape, which is supposed to
What's it
help
gonna
you.
do?
It's supposed to help you sleep better because you're forced to breathe through your nose. It like regulates your breathing patterns, but it also prevents some like wrinkle situations. I think it just keeps your face put together. I could be totally wrong. I don't use mouth tape as a woman pops up on your For You page on TikTok at least once a day, and my brain just goes like I refuse to entertain the idea of putting mouth tape on before I go to sleep every night.
Did he moisturize ever in this video?
The banana peel.
Like he woke up and just run the video on loop, Jacob. He woke up and was pretty damn moisturized.
He was very moisturized.
He was, and when he got out the pool, we're ashy when we get out the pool. Look at that. Like he is already oiled up.
Also, do you ever sleep in your chains or
jewelry?
necklaces?
I don't like wearing it. I can't wait to take it off.
Also, wait, he had his bracelets on there.
and then he took them off.
I'm not sure
Like,
if
what do
there's
you-
some discontinuity going on. The journaling while shirtless, relatable.
What? Stop.
Everybody just wants to be shirtless while they journal. The head dunk is supposed to be one, it like wakes you up. There's this idea
He's
that
been
cold
up for
water
45
boosts your
minutes.
metabolism.
What does he
I
need
know.
to do to wake up?
Okay, so it's just the watch and the ring. I see.
So why are you wearing all that jewelry to go do physical activities? You trying to be sexy while you do these
I did
sprints?
see somebody point out that like 10 years ago, a video like this would have gotten so clowned for at minimum like metrosexual behavior.
Terrible
And
job,
now
got
this is supposedly like, this is masculinity.
Because masculinity is under attack, Jessica. You know that.
Yes, I'm so
Again,
sorry.
Like, I'm not sure if that's how we
I
wash our
wonder why.
hair. Jacob, and then
The banana peel on the face is intriguing.
show me your
I haven't seen that
moisturization
one.
plan. Keep the video rolling, Jacob. I want to know what's in that damn drawer. That's
He's
something
eating
I
his
didn't
protein.
do.
That's
Well,
a
you
good.
got-
That's a good breakfast.
That's a real good breakfast. Turkey, bacon, avocado toast, eggs.
I wish
Good
I
breakfast.
had
Pause it if you can.
somebody to make me that
What's
breakfast.
we missed it.
Oh.
But it looked like some mouthwash was in there.
Toothpaste.
And paper clips? Like, what's going on in the top
Is that
right?
just a full drawer of paper clips?
Is that paper clip? That's not. There's no way in hell. Is that
It's
floss? Oh, that's floss.
Oh, it's
Okay,
that
there we
fancy
go.
floss that's like outside of the pack.
Okay.
The real thick floss.
Yeah, he took it.
The peck jiggle at 354 gets me every time.
This is
and
about
not
what
in a
time
fun
I wake
way.
up.
Me too.
Should I do like a shirtless video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should.
I do not do push-ups when I wake up in the morning. What are we doing?
He's getting
here?
that so that the rest of the video, his muscles
2
are
minutes of
protruding.
Jesus? Was that a Bible in front of him? Was it 2 minutes
It's
of
either
Jesus?
like a motivational book. I don't know. Some people read those quick hitters.
For 2 minutes?
Yeah, that's all some people can read.
Just
okay?
get a quote? Okay, I got you.
Some people are like, I'd rather read 2 minutes than none.
All right. Okay. No
Yeah.
wedding ring, though. He put that ring on the middle finger. He wanted to make
Ladies,
sure that y'all knew.
He's single.
There's somebody, well, he's available. There's somebody making him breakfast, Jessica. I'm assuming he's not
You want to
single.
know when this trend is going to reach its end?
When?
When a politician does it.
Yeah.
When somebody in the White House thinks it's funny. When J.D. Vance puts out his morning routine.
Or a college football coach, right? Any old
Sure.
white dude
Let me be clear.
that starts doing
Anybody who does it semi-seriously, like there's an air of, haha, of course I'm trying to make fun of this, but it's not. You want to know who should do it? Rich Rod. He said no dancing on TikTok, but he
No.
never said anything about morning routines.
Because Rich Rod has a program of men. They're not out here doing that.
Who would you most like? Whose morning routine would you most like to see?
Oh, gosh.
Of a coach.
I bet Jim Harbaugh gets into some weird stuff.
Yes.
I bet Jim Harbaugh puts shoes on and then puts his pants on, right? Like I'm not sure if he's doing things in the right order. Jim Harbaugh would be interesting. And then, hell, honestly, pick a college coach. There's some weirdos out there in college. Gundy. Mike Gundy's morning routine, because he's got to do something to the mullet as well. I'm assuming I'm going to get a Bible verse or two in there also. Like, give that to me.
R.I.P. Mike Leach would have loved to have seen.
Mike Leach's routine
Probably
isn't...
put 2 eggs on a plate.
Mike Leach
Called
rolls.
it good.
Mike Leach rolls out of bed, probably R.I.P. to Mike Leach, but he seemed like a simple man. Rolled out of bed, put on the nearest sweatshirt from whatever team he was coaching, threw on some shorts, put on shoes and socks, and then left the house. Right? Like, it wouldn't be that interesting of a video, I bet.
Somebody said Cliff Kingsbury, and I'd be fine just watching any video of him getting.
Really, Cliff? He gets it going. All right.
He's an attractive man.
Okay.
And he had that like beautiful house. Remember that shot of him in his living room where it's like the floor to ceiling windows and the big white couch?
Who moisturize, I bet you Cliff Kingsbury has a tremendous
Probably.
face routine. Right? When I think about coaches who take care of their skin, Cliff Kingsbury is up there.
Chat is saying Dabo.
Dabo,
And
Gundy.
Dabo would be the one to do it.
Dabo and Gundy are the two.
That's a good one. All right, other WTF stories. What did the chat vote on the one that we have to get into? Because we listen to the chat. We listen to the people.
You can just go through it.
Pickle Lemonade.
We can get to all of them.
Where's the Pickle Lemonade coming
Right there,
from?
coming from Popeyes. Thoughts on the Pickle Lemonade?
I don't like pickle juice.
I don't either.
And some people are obsessed with pickles. And I just am not that. It's big for me that I now like pickles enough to eat. Like I don't seek them out, but I'll eat them if they're made available to me. I don't take them off of my chicken sandwich now. Like if I get a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, I keep the pickles on. Previously, I would remove the pickles from the sandwich.
If you put a pickle on my sandwich, I take the whole damn sandwich back, remake it. I do not want the pickle smell, juice. I want nothing to do with pickles. I'm anti-pickles.
I will say, I feel like there's some lemonade wars brewing. I think this is gonna be a big lemonade year. Big lemonade spring, big lemonade summer. Chick-fil-A has a new dragon fruit pineapple lemonade that I have just heard incredible things about. And Chick-fil-A already has superior lemonade. Like if we're ranking fast food establishments lemonades, most are just a little Minute Maid on it. Chick-fil-A's lemonade is worth just getting a drink from Chick-fil-A, would argue.
I don't drink lemonades like that either, but Chick-fil-A's lemonade, some good stuff.
Yeah, so they have the pineapple dragon fruit lemonade, which I'm not sure they're at all stores yet, but I did have a friend who had one. She made a TikTok about it, and it looked really delightful, really refreshing. All right, what do we have next? How early should you show up for the airport?
You tell me. You're the frequent flyer. Because this is a trend on the Tickety Talk, isn't it? Showing up 15 minutes before your flight, proving that you can make the flight.
Yes. Listen, if you live in Memphis, Tennessee, the odds are in your favor. Not perfect. Every now and then you'll show up at the Memphis airport and that line will be sneaky long. And I have TSA pre because I am a frequent flyer. And even the TSA pre-line at the Memphis airport sometimes will get you. But for the most part, like when I flew to Seattle on Thursday, I actually texted Chris about this at the time. I said one of the biggest perks of Memphis is from parking in our very cheap garage. I think it's $9 a day, which the Seattle garage, $35 a day. So be grateful for it. But from the time that I parked to the time that I got to my gate was 12 minutes. That's crazy. That's not the norm though. I'm a normal situation 2 hours before the flight leaves, but my cutoff is like 1:15 before the flight leaves.
You just need to be pulling into the
No, I need to be getting
lot.
into the security line
Okay,
an
security
hour 15
line.
before the flight leaves.
All right.
Because that's usually about a half hour before boarding. And even on a really bad day, usually you're getting through security in at least 30 minutes. How long would you think that you need to get to the airport?
2.5 to 3. Just
3?
Yeah, just in case some funny business pops
Are
off.
you my mother?
Oh, you don't want to know about
You
my
don't want to
Sharon.
know about my Sharon.
My Sharon wants to be there.
You don't want to know about
If
my
we're flying
Sharon.
out today at noon, we needed to be there yesterday at 8 p.m., right? Like that's but no, 3. Weird stuff might happen. I might catch a flat tire or something like that on the way and then need to adjust. There might be an issue at the security, something unforeseen that I don't know about. So I allow an hour for unforeseen things. And then the 2 hours are there because like you 2 hours beforehand, make sure everything is straight. I do not want to miss a flight. The
Me
pain
neither.
I would feel in missing a flight would be crippling.
Yes, and my subconscious knows that. My most regular repeated dream is me missing a flight. But normally, it's me at the airport already and something has happened that has distracted me. This happens all the time. I keep meaning to talk to my therapist about it, even though she's not like a dream seeker or anything. But it has to mean something. There has to be something there because I will get distracted doing something. I will realize, oh, my flight started boarding 30 minutes ago, and I will show up to the gate, and they will be closing the doors, and they will not let me get on the airplane, and it will be too late. What does it mean?
When do you start paying attention? Because once I sit down, I get there 3 hours early. I'm probably through, and everything's probably good to go. I got 2 hours, 15 minutes left before the flight, maybe 2.5 hours before the flight. I will bop about. I will not pay attention. I'll have headphones in, be watching stuff, playing games and things of that nature. But about 45 minutes out, all of that stuff stops, and I'm just staring at the door at that point, and I'm waiting for them to tell me something. How long do you start paying attention? How far out before you decide I got to pay attention?
As a club goer, I'll usually sit in the club until like 10 minutes before my flight.
Okay.
Before it boards.
Okay.
Before it boards.
Before board.
And usually I'll scout out like how far away I am, because sometimes it is a long walk depending on what airport you're at. But I usually, like 10 minutes is the cutoff, and then I stand there. Or like I'm weird. I like to get my steps in at the airport, so oftentimes I'll do like a full terminal lap. And so I start that 30 minutes before boarding, and then I clock like where the gate is, and I make that the end of my walk, my like 30-minute jaunt through the airport. There's cool airports. I like people watching.
Yeah, people watching at the airport is great.
Yeah.
A few times I've flown. Walked around LAX, which
one of my favorites.
I think is the size of Memphis's downtown. It is huge.
Yeah. That's the problem too.
Yeah.
Because if you're in an airport where you can walk easily from terminal to terminal, it's one thing. But if you're at LAX, sometimes you'll get screwed where you're like, oh shoot, I need 30 minutes to get from wherever I sat down to, whether it be a club or sitting at a bar, having a drink, having lunch somewhere. And then you have to get on a train to get to your gate. Yeah, I can't. My mom gets there about like 3 to 4 hours early. That's too much for me. But my husband would get there 15 minutes before. My husband would do the 15-minute route. My dad's like somewhere in the middle, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle too.
All right, Frontier's letting free bags on, saying take that, whichever plane.
Not only do we have animals on our wings, we have free bag opportunities. Good for them. Good for them. If you're in a battle of the mid-tier airlines right now, that's what I would do. That is precisely what I would do to try to counter Southwest's decision and to try to gain some new friends. Gain some new customers. We're back to the friends. Everybody just wants to be friends. The airlines want to be friends. The basketball teams want to be friends. Everybody wants to be friends.
Yeah, good on them. That's how business works. Somebody stops doing it, people complain, and then they step in there.
All right, I will let you do the logo of the baseball team.
What do you mean, let me do the logo?
I'll let you do it, but I'm being trustworthy of whatever jokes you make with it.
What jokes? All it is a glove with a clam in it.
It's an oyster.
Oyster, excuse me.
There's
Shout
a
out to
pearl. The baseball is the pearl.
Where's the pearl?
The baseball
I don't see it. Jacob, do you see the pearl?
is the pearl.
I think most men can't find the pearl. Can't find the baseball in that picture. All I see is the mitt and the clam.
It's an oyster!
Excuse me. Shout out to the Chesapeake Oysters.
It's an
Forgive me.
oyster.
I apologize. Is that how it chooses to identify? I guess so. Yeah, just a mitt and a clam. I don't know what's going on here, Jessica. I don't know why you had to
I want
let
one of these
me.
hats. I want one of these hats.
I
want one so bad.
Now,
I didn't get the Tatus hat, and I'm upset about it because now they're like $1,000 on
Did you get the
eBay.
Anals hat?
No.
The
But this one
assholes?
I want.
Got
I think this is so funny.
I need this one, and can I be honest? The other one I want.
Yeah.
I want that nougat hat.
Oh yeah.
I need that nougat.
I would if I had found one of those for you in Chattanooga, I would have absolutely given it to you. The
logo.
Chesapeake Oysters.
Shout out to Chesapeake. We gotta get.
I forget why they're doing this.
Because it's their logo? I don't understand. What do you mean? Why are they doing it? They're the Oysters. It's an oyster and a glove. It would be nice if they had a baseball. If there was a baseball somewhere in that picture, it would be nice.
Find it.
I
You know
can't.
who else it would be nice for? All of the women fans would also love it if you could see the baseball in this picture. It's right there.
Where?
It's right there.
Jacob,
It's the
point
AA
to
affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles, and they were proud to introduce a new alternative identity for the 2025 season. For all home games, the Chesapeake Bay Sox will take the field as the Chesapeake Oyster Catchers, as a tribute to the Chesapeake Bay's rich heritage and thriving ecosystem. Inspired by the American oyster catcher, the prominent patterned shorebird can be found along the Chesapeake Bay. Oh, it's a bird. We got a new bird.
So why not put the bird on the logo?
With its bold black and white plumage,
You guys know what
orange
you're
beak, and knack for hunting shellfish,
You know
the
what you're
oyster catcher is a symbol of strength and ingenuity.
Y'all know what
They know
y'all are
exactly what they're doing.
You could've put
Oyster
the bird
catcher's
on there.
branding, a bold and distinctive look.
All right.
They also use a weird font. They use like a 70s diner font, which you don't
really?
see in this.
Okay.
But like it's oyster catchers with like little stars next to it.
Oh, nice.
And they do use the bird on alternative imaging.
Okay. So the bird is on the alternative imaging, not this. This goes out to the public. All of us see this. This is fine.
Okay, wait.
But
Chesapeake.
alternative imaging, we need to put the bird on there.
Somebody said you have to look at their tweet.
Their tweet.
Some saw an oyster. Others saw something unexpected. We see an opportunity to turn viral laughs into positive impact in celebration of Women's History Month. 10% all oyster catchers.
Finally, we get something this Women's History Month, which is odd because again, it's just a baseball glove and an oyster. I don't understand what that has to do with women, but hey, what do I know? We got, I guess, 10% off?
Oh, they don't have any merch with the oyster on it. That's lame.
Oh, come on,
If
man.
you're going to go all in, if you're going to support women,
Give us the oyster.
Give us everything.
Give us
You can
the-
only get the bird holding a bat.
Give us the oyster.
No.
I don't want the bird. We got birds
Voice
holding
cracked
bats.
on that.
Isn't that the Orioles?
That's so funny.
Like Cardinals have birds
Yeah,
holding
I don't
bats.
need. We have enough.
Yeah, this
effing
hat I'm pretty
birds
sure
in
has a bird
sports.
holding a bat. No, it's
There's
two
nothing-
birds. It's
there's
birds
n-
sitting on a bat.
There's no scarier logo in sports than that. That's disappointing. All right. What else do we have?
The other story you said is
Nope.
not true, so we can't do it.
We're not doing it. That'll do
Why?
it for today's show. Because it's not true. We don't spread
You don't
fake
know if
news.
it's true or not.
Oh, this one is true.
Oh, look at the otters.
They're having so much
So
fun.
these are the two otters that escaped the zoo. These are Louie and Ophelia. There was a snowstorm in Wisconsin, and these two otters, these river otters, I do believe is what they are, broke out of their exhibit, their enclosure, and they've just been frolicking in the zoo, playing in the snow. I think they broke out Sunday. As of yesterday, they still hadn't been captured.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah,
I
have
hope they're
fun.
having the time
Having
of their
fun.
lives. That's so sweet. Sorry to keep you from being great.
I expect it now. I was not expecting. I thought we were gonna be able to sneak that oyster in on you. I didn't know you were gonna be like, yeah, let the oyster one.
Oh, I saw it.
Okay.
But I didn't
was
see
hop-
that they were donating
I was hoping you didn't.
to Women's History Month, which is fantastic.
Good stuff.
I
Put
wish
the
we
oyster-
had.
put
I
the
wish we
oyster
had
on
more
a hat.
allies. I wish we had more allies in sports like the Chesapeake Bay Sox. You know, they're doing it right,
Yeah.
unless they continue to not put
Put the oyster on a hat.
Put the oyster on the hat, you cowards. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. It's another beautiful day here in Memphis. Get outside. It's so nice. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be a Grizzlies game day. Grizzlies Thunder to round out this 5-game road trip. It'll be a Thursday. Teresa Walker will join us. A lot of Titans news this week as they seem very excited about Cam Ward. We'll catch up with Teresa about the NCAA tournament. Sweet 16 action will start tomorrow as well. We'll see you then. Bye.
Like this is for like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Really good weather.